What is going on, everybody? And welcome to the House of Birds podcast. I'm Pablo Gary. Got my brother Daniel Hill with us, and our very, very special guest for the second time, Eagles Uncensored. Moochie Robinson is with us. He'll be joining in a little later. But what's going on, guys? How you guys feeling after the Eagles' big win, man? Talk to me a little bit.
I feel great. The run game, number one rushing defense, allowing 73 yards a game. We had 75 in the first quarter. Jalen Hurts snatched some dude's ankles, and my Lada went to IHOP. So it's a
Yes,
good game,
sir.
good day.
Yeah, man. Real quick, appreciate you guys for having me on again. It's always a pleasure coming on talking football with you.
Mm.
But yeah, man, no, I feel great. We're going into New York this weekend. And since '08, we're 10-3 there. So pretty much that's our home field as well. We're first in rushing with 217.5 yards per game, and we're second in scoring at 34.5 points per game. Jalen Hurts leads in the most in the NFL in explosive plays at 108, and he has the number one QBR in the NFL over the last 5 weeks. How are you not supposed to feel confident about that?
Mm-hmm.
That's just a recipe for destruction if you think about it.
Right. So, just really quick, obviously Thanksgiving is tomorrow. Want to do something real cool with you guys. Like, if you had to pick one person, be it player or staff member on this Eagles team, who you are most thankful for, who would it be? Like for me, the way the Eagles are playing right now, it's gonna be weird, but I'm kind of thankful for Howie Roseman. I'm thankful for Howie Roseman because without the little bit of foresight of seeing the kind of player and leader that Jalen Hurts could be for this team, who knows where the Eagles could be? I mean, let's think about it. Like, if not for Jalen Hurts, then who? So, who are you guys most thankful for here in Philadelphia?
Honestly speaking, I'm kind of thankful for Nick Sirianni.
Mm,
The way he has changed his game plan from throwing the
mm,
ball 40 times a game to running the ball 50 times a game. That's amazing the amount of switching that takes. And that's the dedication that he put toward his quarterback. And
mhm.
he's up there praising him, saying Steichen too, the OC, he came out and said that's the best QB run I've ever seen live. I mean,
Mhm.
it's amazing how much this offense has changed in 5 weeks.
Eagles
Yeah, very
uncensored.
true. Man, I'm gonna go with Darius Slay. All right, and I know that's
Mm.
weird, but listen, one, my man's out here. He's playing on an island, boy. Like he three. I'm
An
telling you, bro,
island,
on an island, boy, on
an
an island.
island, man.
Yo, 3 touchdowns in 4 games.
Yeah.
He keeps up at this pace. You are probably looking at defensive MVP of the year. I'm
Mm.
not gonna lie, like this guy is balling out, and I gotta say, man, like the experience that he brings not only to the cornerback room but to the wide receivers as well.
Mm.
You know, he's helping Smith get better each and every day, recognize coverages, all that stuff. Now, granted, it's not working to the fullest with Rager and such, and like I said, we'll get into that here in a little while. But it is helping Smith because you can totally see Smith is leaps and bounds beyond Watkins and Rager at this point
Mhm.
in his career, and he's a rookie. So he's a true asset to this team moving forward. Even I'm on the line here to even say extend him, give him another 2 years. No lie.
Nick Sirianni. Extend Nick Sirianni.
No, I think he's
No,
talking about Slay.
no, Darius Slay.
Okay. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. Darius Slay, just to piggyback, I would love to see him in his career in Philadelphia. I'm getting
right.
that. I'm getting that kind of vibe. I think the Eagles, historically, we've done a okay job with sort of holding on to players and knowing when to let them go. I think we let go Brian Dawkins go a little bit too soon. McNabb was one of those players I think we let go at the right time. I think we got to get to a place of really holding on to guys that can really make an impact deep into their later mid 30s or whatever. I think Darius Slay could really be that guy. He's been healthy since the Eagles brought him here from Detroit. So, both of you guys make great points. Darius Slay has definitely, helped this defense out. Nick Sirianni has definitely done a great job. And, one thing I could say about Nick Sirianni that I was, really impressed with was, as a rookie head coach, you tend to, look at the data and look at the stats and sort of base your game plan around that. And I just have to salute him, man, because when you look at the Saints on paper and it says, okay, yeah, this is the number one rushing team in the National Football League, then you sort of start to go, maybe we should do something different. Maybe we should, get away from the run and start to lean on the pass this game, just because the stats probably show that we probably aren't going to have any success. That's typically what young coaches do. But Nick Sirianni didn't do that, man. He stayed the course. He didn't change the game plan. He relied on his running backs pretty much by committee. And I thought that was a real big growth step for him as a head coach, specifically for me to see him not really get shaken up too much about, what the Saints are on paper. And I know we got, we saw the video when he said the Saints used to be the number one rushing defense. So I don't know, man. I think the Eagles are trending in the right direction. What do you guys need to see as we transition? What do you guys need to see against the New York Giants to sit up there and say to yourself and have 100% confidence, okay, the Eagles can really win out and be a playoff team?
Consistency and defensive play calling. Because one thing I did see in the beginning of the Saints game, like most of the time in the first half, every time it was like a third and medium, third and long, even sometimes third and short, Gannon would blitz like 6-7 people. He would send Devontae, he would send McLeod, he would send Singleton, he would just send these guys. And then towards the second half, when we were up 33-7 and they were able to convert on third downs, we kept dropping back in zone and just we gave him too much time to think. It's just like keep bringing the pressure, keep making him think quick, because that's how you win. If you make a quarterback, especially like Daniel Jones, we all saw what happened when Tampa Bay was able to get after him. He threw it to a defensive lineman. He threw a pick to a defensive lineman. That doesn't happen. Like, that's horrible. And then he as people like to say, he panics a lot. Daniel Jones, he panics a lot when he gets pressure in his face and he has the ball. And he has a tendency to force things and do stupid things. So if you continue the blitzing, continue to make him think too much, like just think quick, I think we can win, especially in a blowout. I think we could win in a decent amount.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nah, man, you should feel so good about playing the Giants, even after the firing of Jason Garrett. No lie, man. I don't know if you guys know this. I believe it is Nate Soldier, but he has a pass protection rating of 6.1%. I didn't say 61. I said 6.1.
I don't even know what it is.
Horrendous.
Okay. That is bad. That means he could get beat by pretty much like a high school student. 6.1, that's terrible. Okay.
Wow.
There is no reason that this defensive line should not be able to eat. There is no reason that our offensive line should ever let anybody touch Jalen Hurts. They only have one good lineman, and that's Williams, I believe it is.
Leonard Williams.
Yeah, that's the only guy that is a threat at all to us. But even still, he should not be able to get to him.
I mean,
All right.
it's kind of crazy when Brady's out there running 12 yards. They have
Right?
Brady run for 12 yards. That's more than he ran the past like 2 seasons.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with that meme to that giant linebacker who was diving for him. I forget who
Yeah.
it was, but they were like, "Bro, you just got shook by Tom Brady. Hang up your cleats." Like he's
Right.
42 and he made you look stupid. Like just quit, stop. You know.
Yeah, and speaking about the trenches, offensive line, defensive line. I mean, just like, are you? I mean, Jordan Mailata, man,
Dude, I love that guy.
Jordan freaking. That is what I want to see.
Right?
That is
Protect
what I
his
want to
QB.
see.
Right?
When you see, and I think Jordan is a tone setter. He's a tone setter, man. When you make plays
Mhm.
like that, when you show the world, hey, you ain't gonna just be touching my quarterback, and forgive my son as he nods off. I guess dad is putting him to sleep.
Oh, he's back awake.
Yeah, but Jordan Mailata, man, it's just something that it was great to see, man. I don't know, did any offensive lineman do that for Carson Wentz? I
Who?
mean, like literally tussle and
Who?
the number 2 guy, green and blue.
Oh, that guy.
Oh yeah, green and blue. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
no, man, I just for honorable mention, I really should have said Jordan Mailata, man. It was good to see, man. Like it really showed the closeness, the camaraderie, and you really see why this team is having success. It's because
I mean,
guys really care about each other, and guys are really playing together and as a unit. If you're not playing as a unit, you're not doing what Jordan Mailata is doing. You just don't see it at all, man.
Yeah.
Birdman, thank you so much, man. Welcome to the channel, man. Happy pre-Thanksgiving, man, from the House of
sir.
Birds podcast, man. Look at this
yes.
guy.
One thing I will say is, I mean, it's kind of crazy. They asked Rodney McLeod about Jalen Hurts. I think it was either today or yesterday or one of the days. And they said, "What do you think about him?" He said, "He's the type of guy when he talks, we listen." And it's just kind of crazy that you got all these older veterans listening to a young QB, and they're giving him every bit of their attention.
But I knew
Do you want to
Carson
know
Wentz.
why?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
You know, you can even go back on some of my lives and see it. Jalen Hurts is 23 years old, and I understand that, but he's not mature like a 23-year-old. He's fine wine, I like to call him. He's matured very well, and just imagine this kid at 32. You can only see it uphill from here. I mean, he's truly something special, man. It's not just the mobility that he brings with his legs, but it's also the mental state he brings. I mean, he's a very dangerous human being. I've never seen anyone so cold like him. Like
even after he scored the touchdown, most young 23-year-old. I mean, come on, let's look at Cam Newton, right? Over 30, he comes back to Carolina. I'm back. He tells the reporters, "Hey guys, it's not about me." First play of the game, scores a touchdown, takes his helmet off. It's all about him. Jalen Hurts, he says it's about the team. Then he go ahead and scores the game-winning touchdown, pretty much, right? Showed zero emotion. And I love the word you use, Uncensored. Dangerous. Like he is dangerous mentally, because for someone to be so locked in, that's different. And when your quarterback is locked in, then you see your offensive line locked in. Then you see your running game locked in. Then you see your wide receiver room locked in. Now, and all of a sudden, when you're so locked in, at some point, guess what? Your coaches have to lock in. Like Jalen Hurts' game has upped even the coaches. The coaches, like Nick Sirianni, see Howie Roseman, they thought they could use Jalen Hurts as a scapegoat. Nah, brother.
Not anymore.
Nah, brother. You can't. No, sir. Hey, I'm gonna be out here balling. You guys will get exposed for sure.
Let me give you guys a scenario real fast, all right? Because I watched the game, and I saw Jeffrey Lurie's face in the fourth quarter when they hit him after the commercials. You remember that face? There was like no happiness whatsoever. He was kind of
He
like
just looked
his
upset.
lip was on the side of his face. He was pushing it out, and he kind of looked kind of pissed a little bit, And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, I remember going back thinking when they said at the beginning of the year that they wanted to be a pass-heavy team. Well, that's not happening. For some reason, I feel because Nick is so nice of a guy, and I mean that in all honesty. Like, Nick is one of those guys, when I look at our head coach, like, there's not one mean bone in this man's body. Like, he's genuinely a nice guy, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I believe he's that nice of a guy that he might have persuaded Howie Roseman to see things his way a little bit. And now you got Jeffrey Lurie sitting there holding the bag because he doesn't want to do things this way. But in the end, isn't it all about winning?
Mhm.
And Howie's
That's
going to
what
do
we're
whatever
going
he
towards
needs to do to save his job, right?
Mhm.
So who's he
Yeah.
going to ride? Is he going to ride the hand of Jeffrey where at the beginning, the first 7 games they lost? Or is he going to ride the hand where the last 3 games they've won?
Mhm.
But
Like,
what's so
you got to
weird?
look at it.
What's so weird about that, Uncensored, is Jalen Hurts jersey sales increased by 500. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So if
Yep.
we're talking business, if we're talking money, Jalen's
Right.
your guy. Like,
Right.
Jalen Hurts is your guy. So for me, I don't really. I hope that's not Jeffrey Lurie's outlook, because what Jalen Hurts is doing is completely unheard of.
Right.
He's
And
ninth
when I say what Jalen Hurts is doing, because what he's really doing is putting the team first.
Mhm.
That's all he's really
Yes.
doing. I mean, even
100%.
I don't know if you guys follow his social media or
Yes. Yeah.
his Instagram, but
Mhm.
Carson Wentz never promoted any player on his personal page. You go to Jalen Hurts, Jordan Mailata signs a big deal. He posts them on his personal page. Avonte Maddox posted them on his page.
Bryce Harper.
Everybody, bro. Everybody. I mean, this kid, he knows how to. He's just a leader, man. In Philadelphia, we don't have that. We just don't have it. So
The kid's built for
He
it.
is
Yeah.
Philly, man. He is Philly.
facts.
He carries the pride of Philly with him and on his shoulders. Like, no lie, we went out there and we won against the Saints, but in his presser, the very first thing he was talking about is, man, I was not satisfied. Who the fuck does that? You just won. You dominated. Literally dominated. And the very first thing you want to say is, I wasn't good enough. How fucking good does this kid want to be? And that's what I want to
He
find
wants
out.
to be the best.
Mhm.
Exactly.
And that's why
And why not roll with that? That mentality can never lose, correct?
The kid has never regressed. He has always improved, and he will continue to improve. Ever since, I mean, even when you look back at his Alabama, he could barely throw the ball. He used his legs a ton. And now, I mean, you look at him even at Oklahoma. I think he's a much better player.
hold on, Danny, because he took him to a championship his
No,
freshman
I
year.
get
So
that
how can he
because-
not throw the ball? Like, you
No,
can't go to a championship not throwing the ball.
I'm not trying to say. I'm saying his arm and his progression, his mind has gotten a lot better. That team was very, very run heavy his
Mhm.
freshman year. His sophomore year, they started to throw the ball a little more, and then his junior year he didn't play except in the SEC championship when he came back and won them the game. Then he went to Oklahoma, and if it wasn't for Joe Burrow having a unlikely never before seen season, he would have won the Heisman. Now you're telling me a Heisman winner went in the second round? Like, that doesn't make sense to me.
While the Dolphins quarterback Tua, they don't even they're trying to get rid of him for Deshaun Watson.
They keep clowning him for taking Tua over Herbert.
By the way, we all know who won that Bama fucking thing, don't we?
Yep.
Look, we got the better Bama QB and we got the better Bama receiver, and they were both taken after the Dolphins pick.
And center.
I
This
wasn't
is
even.
true.
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
Because Landon
Now,
Dickerson
I have
is
to
AB.
ask you guys though, if he keeps playing because we don't know if Kelsey's going to retire at the end of this
I
year.
want him to
Everybody
stay at left
assumes
guard.
that he is,
I want
but
him
we
to
don't
stay
know
there.
yet. I
don't
do.
think
I
he is.
believe he might. If we're winning, I don't see why he would stop. I mean, he even said he'll go as long as his body allows him to.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
I'm
would
okay
leave
with that.
Dickerson there.
Leave Dickerson at left guard. Leave the Twin Towers alone. And what I would do is I'd just redraft a new center later in the rounds this year or even next year. It all depends on what Kels chooses to do.
I mean, even
What
one thing
about
I will
Isaac?
say.
Or Sayamalu in at center.
Well, one thing I will say is when they drafted Sayamalu, they drafted him to be Kelsey's backup, and then he turned into the left guard. But the other thing is, I wouldn't be upset at Nate Herbig either.
Mm-hmm.
Herbig was a center.
He's
He just
okay.
got put at guard because Brooks kept getting injured.
He needs some
and
snap work, though. That was a bad snap.
I mean, that was one snap. I mean, you're gonna need a little warm up. Yeah,
I know.
So, yeah.
And then let's not talk about Brandon Brooks. I mean, what do we do with this guy, man? Is Brandon Brooks going to go down like Jason Peters? Are we going to just continue to extend him when his body is clearly saying it's time to go? It's like we can't win, man. It's going to be, if it's not Achilles, it's a knee. If it's not a knee, it's an arm. It's not an arm, it's a head. What do we do with Brandon Brooks, guys?
Brandon Brooks has what it looks like 4 years left on his deal.
Wow.
He is signed through 2024. I'm sorry, 3 years.
We both said the same thing. He said, wow.
Damn.
I thought he had
listen.
1 year left.
Me too. I was like, shit.
He has 3 more years left. He's making 13 and a half, 11 and a half, and 13 and a half.
He got to go.
I think you can trade him away though with 13 and a half.
I think you can trade him away for like a fourth. Because he's still good.
I think you could do that.
He keeps getting injured. So I mean, if someone can be like, I can keep him from getting injured, I got a great right guard.
Yeah.
Well, I would want to keep that problem because fourth round pick or if he gets injured, if he gives me for the next 3-4 years, if he can give me at least 10 games each year, I'll take 40 games or I'll take 40 games of run. Yeah, I don't care, but I mean, he was $40 million, man. I mean, we got the money. Like we got money, so it's like I'm saying 40 games of like when he, because we have to understand this. When he came back, he was the best in the league.
That is very true.
He was it wasn't like he was like some slouch. Brandon Brooks was the best in the NFL.
Isn't he supposed to come back soon?
I think if the Eagles make the playoffs, I think we'll see a Brandon Brooks.
His timeline was supposed to be back around the Saints game.
Yeah, no, it's I think it's 2 weeks. He's back.
It's okay. So he'll be back by the bye week. So.
Yeah, I think after the bye week you'll see him. But my take on that, man, is listen, you got to let him go. This team is trying to get younger. We are rebuilding, and what makes us more dangerous is we're rebuilding and we're winning. Not very often do you see a team rebuilding and winning. Okay, the offensive line for the future is probably going to go Mailata, Dickerson, Sayamalu, or whoever we put at center. And then I would believe it would be Herbig at right guard and then Driscoll at right tackle, because Driscoll by far is my favorite back.
Oh yeah, I love Driscoll.
I mean, when he plays right tackle, he held Chase Young.
You don't hear nothing from him. He's quiet as a mouse.
He's solid, bro. Like I love Driscoll, and I believe Herbig has a lot of potential. He just needs to play. And that's why I say, because of how he's been injured, you let Brooks go, take that third or fourth, whatever you get, and let Herbig play, man. You got to. This kid can be something, but you got to let him play for you to know if you really have to replace him or not.
For my early draft watchers, here's a name that the Eagles could potentially bring in with one of the first round picks. Alabama guy, Evan Neal, 6'8", right tackle. You can slide him in at left guard or right guard. Once Lane Johnson decides to hang it up, you can flip him back over to the right tackle. You got Jordan Mailata. You pretty much got your left tackle and right tackle for the next decade. So for those who are, watching the better man prospects.
One thing I will say is if they're also, let's say Kelsey retires after this year, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to using a first round pick on Tyler Linderbaum. the center. Where's he
Iowa.
from? I think so.
Yeah,
Iowa.
he's pretty dominant. He's nasty.
And like having him, imagine like having him. Yeah, he goes to Iowa. Yeah.
Hmm.
So I mean, imagine having like Mailata, Dickerson, and then Linderbaum as your middle and left, and like that would just be crazy. And even if not, let's say you get rid of Brooks, then you could put him at right guard, and then let's say Kelsey doesn't retire. I mean, that's a dominant offensive line.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I don't think we have to worry about our offensive line depth. I believe we have great players there. We just
I
need
mean,
to
I'm
give
just
them a little
thinking
more time.
if we were,
Yeah. No, and I'm with you. I mean, if we got to reinvest into Linderbaum, I'm all for it, because especially if we're going to keep playing this way. If you're going to start making us a run-heavy offense, hey, more the merrier. I'm all down for it, and the bigger the better. If you can get 5, 6, 8 dudes, bring it on,
Yeah. Are you guys okay? Are you guys okay with the Eagles being a mauler style, run it down your throat team? And I think that was your point on Sister earlier about maybe Jeff Lurie wanted to be sort of like Dallas in the sense of being flashy and the way we score, kind of like the Chiefs, not this year, but the Chiefs, how they put up big points. You think the brand of football is what he kind of was not liking, but are you guys okay with the Eagles kind of just running it down people's throats, or?
Yeah.
Dominance.
Oh, go ahead, bud.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think it exerts dominance. I think after the Super Bowl, that the Super Bowl definitely went to Jeffrey Lurie's head, saying, "Yeah, we won that, and look, we outdueled Tom Brady. Like we pass, and we won the Super Bowl. We scored 41 points. I think we could do well with this. It's a completely different team now. These guys are older. They're not better. They're much better at run blocking, using their big body to their advantage. I mean, Kelsey's 30, 33, 34, playing like he's 23. I mean, he's running dudes over in the run game. I mean, that one play where he just legit bodied an O lineman and then went to the next block for that Sanders run was just amazing.
For sure.
So, I mean, I'm definitely okay with this.
I am so for it, and honestly, man, we've heard Nick say, like, him and Frank talk all the time. They keep in contact and that he helps them, and they, it's really ironic that the Indianapolis Colts and the Philadelphia Eagles started a run-heavy offense at the same exact time. I don't know if y'all noticed that, but they did.
Yeah.
And it kind of feels like Frank and Nick both told each other, hey, we're going to ride this one out. We're going to – because – and it's brilliant if you think about it because, like you said, everybody's so worried about being a pass-heavy offense these days. No one's trying to be a run offense anymore. Well, what's the best way to beat everyone? Being the complete opposite of what everyone else is. Because while they're all out there trying to scheme for the pass each and every week, because that's what they have to defend each and every week, you have two teams, well, three if you count the Baltimore Ravens, who only run the ball. They very seldom pass. That's how you win. That's how Baltimore's winning. That's how we're winning, and that's how Indy's winning. Because you have three teams that you don't take account for because all they do is run the ball, and you never scheme for runs anymore.
Moochie, are you cool with the Eagles being more of a physical, aggressive, running style football team opposed to really airing it out week after week? Are you okay with this brand of football that we're currently exhibiting on Sundays?
Of course, because we're talking about Jordan Howard. I mean, I'm just mad that he's not going to be in this game this week. Listen, like I said, my point was Jordan Howard, and after you've seen what he's done through these weeks, now all of a sudden, now that the run game is coming up, he's out because of a knee injury. And I thought it was because of that neck injury, that crazy spin move, like he landed on his neck. So, God forbid, I'm just glad that he was able to get up and walk off. So, far as him having a knee issue, I'm very shocked. But the run game, that's all we was asking for through this whole entire season. We've been asking about the running game, running game, running game. It was all about this RPOs and his philosophy thinking, all right, well, with the RPOs, we can just have a man open or we can have everybody scattered out. He can just throw the ball to anybody, catch, and keep it moving. But obviously, it hasn't been working. So now, here it is. We have Miles Sanders coming back. We have Jordan Howard, then we have Boston Scott. That was the three-headed monster, just like back in the day. I mean, if we could have kept that from now until the end of the season, we talk about playoffs. I mean, we there all the way. So, yeah, to keep this running game up, and on top of that, the running game, like they said, that they had put 244 yards on the ground alone with the help of Hurts, as far as putting that cut and move and making touchdowns. So, as you can see, it's like if it's not one thing, it's another. It's either one game wide receivers catch the ball, make touchdowns, or it might be one game where nothing but the running backs is making touchdowns, or it might be Hurts making all the touchdowns. It's like it's a variant. It's like it's never one and one wide receiver, quarterback, running back, or running back, wide receiver, or maybe tight end. So again, just like Rager, he was 0 for a couple of yards from the last 4 games. Y'all did say he caught one pass for I don't know how many yards, but obviously the running game, you got to put the running game in. And somebody must have put something in on Sirianni's ear. Somebody must have said, listen, man, we got to put this running game up. And obviously we definitely seen, that's what we've seen in this last game. So now we going into the Giants game, we should have a field day. But that guy, what's his name, Jason Garrett that y'all was talking about, he's out. He's out. Now you got, Freddie Kitchens that used to play for the Browns. Like, what is he going to do with him from now until the fact that it's Thanksgiving week? And what is he going to do from now until when that Sunday comes? And how will they have a formula? Obviously, Barkley, he's run down. He's still got an ankle injury, so he's not going to do that shake and bake that he normally do to us. I believe, like you said, uncensored, we're 10-3 as far as going into the home field. So obviously now we're about to be 11-3, and we're going to keep the ball rolling. So now I'm comfortable now. Now I'm very comfortable. Like, listen, now, like, I got the hat on. You know what I'm saying? Again, I always said it was Hurts' season. It was just the fact that the way how his gameplay was, that RPOs wasn't working for him. So if I did lean onto Hurts more, maybe because it was his ball game and it was his play, because our vision was seeing him, but obviously it was leaning more into Nick Sirianni, and obviously somebody said, no, Nick, you need to put this running game in more. And thank God that they tagged Gainwell out. Like, I get it, Gainwell. Somebody had to sit him down and listen, you're not going to play this week. That's fine. You're a rookie. Just understand what we're trying to do. The three-headed monster with Boston Scott, Howard, and Miles Sanders, and we was on a roll. Again, it speaks for itself. So, I mean, that's what I got on it now. So I guess I just can't wait till it's game time on Sunday at 1:00.
Danny, you got something?
One thing I will say is, what do you do now since Jordan Howard's out?
What's good, Mike?
Do you still use Gainwell, or do you start using like a gadget thing where you start putting maybe a guy like Jalen Rager in the backfield?
Oh, okay.
Look! I'm just trying to like transition to the next topic, which is Jalen. So that's why I was just kind of bringing it up. Do you want to use Gainwell?
No.
Or do you want to maybe use a gadget play, kind of like the 49ers are starting to use a guy like Deebo Samuel, where he starts going in the backfield now. You can hand him the ball. I mean, you never know.
But he proved that at wide receiver, though. See, that's the thing. Deebo proved that he could be a legit wide receiver.
That is true.
Like Jalen Rager doesn't even have the prerequisites to even be in the reason why we have to put him as a gadget player, because he can't make a play as a wide receiver. And excuse me, Danny, it's not you, man. Honestly, guys,
No, I get it.
It's just my frustration, and I'm really just ready just to say this guy is a bust, man. I'm ready just to say it, man. It hurts me to say it, but it's the truth, man. If you got Devontae Smith on the opposite side of you, commanding double teams, and you still can't get off, you're a bust. tell me how he is any better than JJ Arcega-Whiteside. Would love to know. And Mike, you have a very, very dope Lexus two-door coupe, just by the way. I'm sorry, guys.
Well, this is what I'll say real quick. If you don't mind me saying, JJ Arcega-Whiteside, I still feel that he got better hands than Jalen Reagor. It's just that you're just not using him right. Again, he just using them as the block. But then after you catch that pass at the end, and I mean, you did a little too much about doing like your first down and all that, but just go back to the huddle and just keep on playing. But at the same time, he got better hands. They need to just Nick Sirianni and Shane Stanich, now all that, the whole offense need to start putting these extra guys. Well, when I say extra, meaning JJ Arcega-Whiteside, they got to put him in the mix more. Y'all got. I mean, we believe that he can block, but we just need to start believing in him that he can start. He could catch long passes. You know what I'm saying? He could do a lot more. We just got to believe in him more. That's all. Like, that's what Jalen Hurts got to do. Like, if you can't find Smith, find JJ Arcega-Whiteside. Because me on the defensive end saying, on the defensive side, probably saying they're not throwing to JJ. They're going to either throw to Smith. We got to make sure we contain Smith as much as we can. We already know that Watkins is going to go far. Jalen Reagor, if he's in here, he's not going to do nothing. All we got to do is pressure him, and because he's not catching nothing. So, and like you said, trick plays, yeah. It's like we almost did a trick play, but somebody got on offsides when we was down by when we was in the red zone when Howard, he was back as quarterback. So, and like you said, maybe we could put Jordan Mailata as a fullback or somebody back there as a fullback so we can run the ball in. So it could be obviously, we could do a lot of things, but I don't want to do too much. I just need to win the game so we can just keep on going.
No, go ahead, Eagles.
With Reagor, man, I'm not so rough on him. I understand he only has like 178 yards receiving this whole year, which is really bad, by the way. Really bad. But
wow.
I got to say this, though, man. I blame Howie Roseman for all of that. Okay? I'm not even lying. I blame Howie for all of this because when you took him in the first round, you put an unwanted target on this kid's back because he was not ready to be a first round. He was projected to be third or fourth. You put an untargeted target on his back for no reason. And now we all expect him to be some first round great pick and stuff. And it's like, dude, that's not who he is. He wasn't ever meant to be a first round pick. We all need to stop acting like he was. He's only a first because Howie made him one.
Can I ask you a quick question really quick? Eagles and Sensor, I'm very curious to hear your response on this.
Yeah.
Do you think, is it fair to say that Jalen Reagor is Nelson Aguilar all over again?
Oh, he's fucking trash.
I'm not
gonna lie. I hate Reagor, bro. I listen. I told you backstage. I'm all for getting Godwin this offseason. Screw Reagor. Like, get rid of this kid. I'm sorry, or not get rid of him, but he shouldn't be playing. You need to develop him.
Or will Reagor be way better next year to Aguilar? Because remember, Aguilar, he was trash for like maybe 2 years until that Super Bowl season. He was unbelievable, and then I think
they put him in the slot.
Right now, if you're asking me, I would probably take Nelson Aguilar over Reagor. Okay, because I'm not even playing. Like, Reagor has not done. Yeah, I'm with you there, YSBG. Even Aguilar did some things in his rookie year more. He had more yards and stuff his rookie year and sophomore year. I mean, he was a threat, a bigger threat than what Reagor's been. It's just we got to stop being so rough on the kid because it's not his fault he was a first. Howie reached for the stars for that one, man. Mm-hmm. And that's not his fault. And I don't blame him, but I'm not going to sit here and give him, any leeway. Like, dude, either live up to what we picked you for and play the game right, or you got to go.
Yeah, my only thing with Jalen Reagor is like he's 22. You know what I mean? So I'm like, he's still young. He's still young. But you start creeping up on 25, 26. Now you're in Greg Ward territory, right? Like now you're just a guy. You know what I mean? So it's crazy. But we're going to Trent. Go ahead, Danny.
I was just gonna say one thing to kind of like help Greg Ward. Greg Ward was I think
That's a fact.
I think if you start using him a little more, like let's say Rager needs some time. He just needs to kind of like sit and watch a little more. Man, I would put Greg Ward in over JJ Arcega-Whiteside. Why? Because I've seen what Greg Ward can do. Him and Hurts already had a connection because once Hurts came in last year, out of his 6 passing touchdowns, Ward had like 4 of them. Ward was his favorite target last year.
Yeah, and Ward, former quarterback, his routes are more crispier. Mm-hmm. He gets in and out of his breaks faster. So we'll see. We'll see.
He might not be the fastest guy in the world, but man, he can run routes and he can definitely catch it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Definitely. He was a safety blanket for Jalen Hurts and Carson Wentz for sure. Mm-hmm. So crazy, man. Jalen Reagor, man, you got to show us something, against New York Giants, man, because right now the fans of Philadelphia just not feeling you right now, guys.
Watch Reagor goes off for 100 yards.
Yeah, I put $100 on that. He won't. Probably that's not gonna happen.
I will shave my face and my head bald.
Right. Me and my son will shave all our hair off.
I'm telling you, that is my word to you guys as a man. I will shave my beard and head bald if that shit happens.
What, 100 yards?
100 yards. If Rager comes out with 100 yards, I will do that shit because I don't think that's even gonna happen.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Not all year. The rest of this year, I don't think it happens. I don't think he gets 100 yards at all.
Nah, I think he probably get 100 out of 7 games.
Surprised too.
No.
But I'm surprised. Why is JJ Arcega-Whiteside before Ward? Or is that like that's what
He's
I'm
a Howie
about.
guy.
I'm surprised that Ward.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He was uncensored, got it, hit it right in the head.
And he's a better blocker because he's a bigger body.
Yeah.
And also, too, guys, JJ Arcega-Whiteside does add more value on special teams. And that's just being real.
Yeah.
I mean, because
you could have value on special teams, but when you're running routes, Ward should honestly be above Reagor because Rager's number 3, Watkins is 2. Right now, Ward should be above Reagor because Ward has shown you something, and he was a former QB. What has Reagor really shown you besides his very first game of his rookie career where he got that 55-yard bomb? Other than that, he really hasn't done anything.
He had a punt return for a touchdown.
Okay.
But, yeah, I mean, special teams. Yeah, I think we all are saying the same thing. I think we all can agree. We just want to see more out of Jalen Reagor, not trying to beat him up or get too down on him. But, I think the Eagles have given him every opportunity. And I think even drafting Devontae Smith, they sort of say, hey, we're not going to rush you. Go ahead and develop. But in the light of Thanksgiving and thanks to everybody in the chat right now, you're definitely locked into the House of Birds podcast right before Thanksgiving. All right, the Eagles are hot, right? But we know teams can go cold turkey. Okay, so give me one player that is going to go on your cold turkey list, offense, defense for the Eagles. Maybe they've been playing hot for the last 3-4 games, but maybe they have an opportunity to go cold turkey against the New York Football Giants. Not all at once, fellas.
Now, when you say cold turkey, you're talking like.
The Eagles are hot right now. I mean, we're hotter than cooked clams. Okay, so but can we stay consistent, right? So nominate me a player who you think, or just give me a player who you think could just go cold turkey against the Giants. Because what we can't do is, and I heard this earlier, somebody said, I'm comfortable. I don't want to get comfortable, but that's when you get cold turkey. That's when cold turkey comes out. When you think, it's the New York Giants, we could just go in there and get a win. So if the Eagles, let's just say hypothetically, we go into New York and we're just thinking, it's the Giants. we could get a win. Who is one player most likely to go cold turkey?
All right, I got you. Dallas
It's gonna be
Goddard.
Rager. That's the only person.
But Rager hasn't shown you anything.
No,
Dallas Goddard.
He's been cold turkey, cold Big Macs, cold Subways, cold Scepters, everything this whole season. This guy.
Why do you say Goddard?
Because he's the number one, man. He's got a lot on his shoulders.
He just got paid.
He just got paid.
Why?
He is playing good. And I don't really want to say Smith. I'm not trying to ruin anyone's mojo here. That was a hard question, you know? Like, I don't want to say anyone goes bad.
There we go. There we go, Mike. There we go, Mike.
Say Nelson's going to get torched.
I'll say Nelson.
He's already been getting torched.
Yeah, because what I'm trying to get you guys to sort of think is like the Giants, they suck, but they got some ballers. Like Kenny Golladay, he could have a day against Nelson. Like he could have a day.
No, that's facts. No, you're absolutely right. I will say Nelson.
Nelson will never see
Golladay. I put my money on. I'll say Nelson because.
Nelson will never see Golladay.
So who's Nelson going to be on? You going to put
no
him on
Nelson?
Tony?
Nelson's going to either be on Tony or Slayton.
I don't know about that.
One of the two.
Can I be honest, guys?
Whoever's on the
honest,
two.
I'm going to secondary. I'm sorry. As an Eagles fan, I gotta be real. Kadarius Tony is scary. Kenny Golladay is scary. Well, Slayton is scary. As a group, that is a scary team. And then you got Darius Slay, who last week pretty much injured himself. I don't know, man. I think our secondary can go cold turkey.
So here's I will one thing I will say about that. So the Giants scored 10 points against the Bucs, right? Like it was 30-10. And basically the only touchdown they got handed the ball at the 5-yard line because the ball went through Mike Evans' hand. So if I'm being honest, I don't think this receiving core is going to do a whole lot because that Bucs secondary is butt cheeks, and they couldn't even get anywhere. They couldn't do anything against that Bucs secondary.
Yeah.
So if I'm being honest, if I had to say anything, I think, and I don't want this to happen, but I think it'll be our D-line. I think they're going to look at them as saying this is easy, especially the ends like Josh Sweat and Derek Barnett. And honestly, Derek Barnett hasn't really gotten a ton of penalties lately.
Don't jinx it.
That's why I knocked on wood, bro.
Yeah, I'm knocking too.
Like, I think he might come out trying to like get the gun ready and just start flag.
But
that's one thing I'm worried about.
And that's a great take. But I like what Mike Freeman said. He said Jonathan Gannon. And you know why I say Jonathan Gannon? Because the main ingredient to go cold turkey is inconsistency. And that is what Jonathan Gannon is right now. I feel like he's fighting with himself internally and Nick Sirianni. I feel like he wants to do it his way, but I feel like Nick Sirianni is like, yo, bro, I ain't gonna keep taking the heat. You better start sending the blitz or doing something. So, yeah,
you gotta get the can.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's another thing from doing blitzes. You see how all of a sudden, TJ Edwards, like he just coming out of nowhere. Like he's nice now. Like he was never like this.
Well, they're using him the right way.
Well, and then
go ahead,
Moochie, my bad.
Well, no, I'm just saying now he's playing so well. He got another contract for next year. Oh, Maddox, he's playing wonderful. After he got that nice contract, now he's nice. Like it's all about what they're doing. Now they're Jonathan Gannon. As you're blitzing, now that you're playing man. Sometimes they off the ball a little too much. Like they run defense. It's coming alive just a little bit. But like it was one play where it was one guy. It was somebody on the Saints. I believe it was the running back 14. He did something to one player, and Edwards just came over and said, "Oh no, you don't." And then he just put him down on his ass, and then that was it. I was like, yeah, he came out of nowhere. So it's like, Jonathan.
I think that was the play where
it was a play.
Yeah, I think it's when Mark Ingram broke Singleton's ankles, and then like he was trying to get more yards. I think it was on one of the Blazing. TJ came from out of
He
nowhere
came
and
over and
just
stumped
whacked
him
them.
dead in his tracks, and that's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I mean when I say we need to play hard-nosed football.
Mhm.
And Jonathan Gannon, either somebody said, "Yo, you need to start blitzing more," because all that zone stuff don't work now. If Jason Jameis Winston, if he was in there, oh man, that zone and all that, we would have been all over the place. But
Yeah, Jameis would have ate
again,
us up.
kudos to him. I'm just glad.
Pause.
Yeah, that's what, and
Yeah. Good
So
night.
now, so now that we getting into
Good
fruition,
night.
everything is coming again. You know what I mean?
Jeez. But you know what? What I was going to say is,
Yeah,
and this is this is going back to Jonathan Gannon, is because, and I don't know if you guys listen to Seth Joyner, man, but he's a great Eagles insider, former
I want to hire
player,
him as DC.
linebacker for the Eagles. And one of the things that he talked about with Jonathan Gannon is the fact that, like, now that Jonathan is sort of blitzing and sort of doing all of that and not really running a vanilla defense, it creates the environment for guys to play aggressive and nasty. And that was a great point, because if you're telling TJ to sit back, read, and react, that's not – no, go get the football. And now you see when you change the scheme, and this is why you could be the best player in the world, okay? But if you go to the wrong team and it's a wrong scheme fit, i.e. Jalen Reagor, i.e. Players like him that really can't get off in the Eagles offense.
Eric Wilson.
Eric Wilson, it just doesn't work. And so that's why I like Mike Freeman's point, man, because Jonathan Gannon, he is the leader of it all. And sometimes coaches, they get a little bit prideful, right? They start to see their defense sort of take off, and they want to be the one to say, stand up the podium and say, it was my play call and it was my philosophy that got it done. So hopefully the Eagles don't go cold turkey. Hopefully we keep that turkey in the oven even past Thanksgiving. We just keep cooking it up. We just keep
get ready for Christmas.
Yeah, man. Well, I said,
give me an early Christmas present. Let's make the playoffs.
Hey,
it's gonna happen, man. Don't worry.
Well, I mean, it's kind of scary when all these commentators and news catalysts on ESPN, Fox Sports are starting to give the Eagles some respect and consideration for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like, once I see that, I'm like, yo, this is weird. I haven't seen it like this in a minute. This is weird.
No, I feel you, man.
They're giving us props.
Yeah, but see, that's something that's why you
Max
love
Hittelman too. Max Hittelman.
Yeah.
A
Giants fan is giving us props.
Right.
And Dan Orlovsky, a Carson Wentz stan, a guy that loves that guy in Indy. And
Yo, I remember watching that shit Monday, dude, when he put that out. Yeah. I was like, all right, Dan. Okay.
Yeah, the guy that said the Eagles would regret trading Carson Wentz.
Right.
Now he's giving us props.
They try to get by.
That's why I'm like.
But see, that's how they try to get by in the mainstream media, because it's like so to ignore everything you said about Carson Wentz, because the way you talked them up last year was like the Eagles were going to be suffering because of the fact that they got rid of Carson Wentz. But see, to get past it, he just, now he's on the Jalen Wentz bandwagon, right? So if I'm the Eagles, and this is what I was going to say, this is why you got to love Jalen Hurts, because when Carson Wentz, you can tell that mainstream media got in his head. You can just tell. You can tell that he was listening to what everybody else is saying. But when you got Jalen Hurts, somebody that never gets too high, never gets too low, and he's even like that. We hear that word all the time. Even kill. Like Jalen Hurts is he is. If even kill was a person, he embodies it, right? And so we need that person that says, hey man, we don't need to listen to what the outside noise is saying. We have to do what we need to do in Philadelphia. This is my wife. I got to take the call, fellas. You can take over.
Yo, like, no lie, real fast. I had Jimmy Smith on from 4th and John the other night, last Friday. And he was telling me, that he had Jalen Hurts' cook on before. And they were sitting there cooking one day, and on ESPN, he was sitting there and they were saying about how bad he is and he's never going to be a franchise quarterback and all that. And he said he went and he changed his channel. He said Jalen Hurts looked at him and said, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I just figured you didn't want to hear that stuff, so I changed it." He's like, "Turn that shit back on." And he made his chef turn it back on. He's like, "Why are you doing this?" He was like, "Because." He was like, "I want to see what they're saying." He's like, "Because that's what's going to motivate me in the end." He's like, "Turn that shit back on and leave it on." That is our quarterback right there. He is not scared.
Your name is no longer Pablo Gary. It's Jalen Hurts Jr., okay? Okay?
Like, no lie, this kid is not scared of the negatives. And the thing about
he was already up. He was already up.
And the thing about it is, man, is what I love about the kid is, he'll sit there, and why the media hates him is he doesn't give you anything to talk about. He's that cold. When you ask him questions, he tells you what he wants you to hear, and then that's it. And that's why they hate him, because they have no bait on him. Carson fed it to him. He gave it to him and gave it to him. They had every angle to use against him. What angle do you have to use against Jalen Hurts? He doesn't give you any. And that's why they hate him, because when you can't sit there and affect a QB mentally, dude, that's something the media hates more than anything.
Eagles Uncensored, brother, I think you gave me a gift, to be quite honest, because what you just said about my quarterback, I didn't even know.
Yeah,
because you got to understand, when guys, even myself, I've put myself out there, man. Sometimes when I face adversity in certain areas of my life, man, I like, man, I don't want to hear it. I don't want, man. But for you to sit up there and say, turn that, I wish I could say it, but turn that ish on. I want to hear it. When you said earlier, Eagles Uncensored, that he was a dangerous man, now I know what you're talking about. That is a dangerous and lethal mentality to have. I want to hear what the Eagle fans are saying about me. I could run through this wall.
Right? Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, he's just a type of player where you what?
No. I was about to say you woke nephew up.
He was up. He was up.
Yeah, I mean, I was just gonna say, I mean, he's the type of guy. I mean, he could like barely talk to you, and he could probably get you to run through a wall. Like, just the way he talks, the way he just walks about himself. He's just he walks around like he's just another guy, but he's really just that dude.
Oh yeah, dude. When my quarterback's sitting there and he's saying, "No, bro, turn that shit back on," that right there up my spine. Because I mean, do you know what this kid is capable of? Like, no lie, I'm going to use Spider-Man reference here. With great power comes great responsibility.
Yes,
He's already responsible. He's got the power. Look the fuck out. That's all I got to say, man. This kid's dangerous. I'm telling you.
And it's what I love about Jalen is he doesn't put himself above anyone. He just doesn't. Like, if he had an ounce of like arrogance, it wouldn't work. It would flop. Yep. But he's the real deal, man. He's the real deal, man. And this is why I love that we have him, man, because, and this is why I said, because Moochie clowned me earlier. He said, Pablo's thankful for Howie. And I'm like, yeah, man, because like I say, like, we could be staring, like, who will be our quarterback? Garner Minshew?
Right.
Jalen Hurts.
Right.
If not Jalen Hurts, we're looking at Garner Minshew as our starting quarterback. I mean, like, that's and Philly 500, I love. It's always funny because he's talking about the Howie vision. Howie vision would have put us looking at Garner Minshew, man, but we're staring at Jalen Hurts. So I don't know, guys.
I like what this guy said. He said Russell Wilson 2.0.
Yeah, like no lie, bro. Reynolds or whatever the hell the dude's name is, the defensive end. He is still searching for his soul on our 25-yard line.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no lie, when I saw his back hit the ground, his soul shot up through his chest.
Bro,
like, he broke him every bad, dude.
I promise
he-
you, every person that's seen that jumped out they seats. When I tell you, when I seen that,
Yeah.
I listen. Literally, I almost went outside and tried to just. If I had to,
I can see you doing that.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's like,
And
and it's like not even
I
that.
swear to
It's
you, I'm not lying to you.
it's like,
I just,
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? Like you see the shoulders, you see how they, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Shoulder work.
Yeah. I was outside. Like, yeah. Like I said, oh my God. Like my mom, like I screamed. So I was like, oh, she
Right?
she
I was
thought
like,
something
I was like,
happened.
no.
Look at this smooth.
But you know
I
why it was
like,
so crazy?
Oh, hallelujah. Like
You know why it was so
came out of
crazy?
nowhere.
You know why it was so crazy?
You didn't
Because
expect
in that moment, yeah, you didn't expect it, but in that moment, every Eagles fan in the world that has a green heart said that Jalen Hurts is now the franchise quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles.
that
See,
proved it.
everybody was talking about everybody, yeah, and House of Birds podcast, we do approve this message, right? Everybody across the world, whether you with Mike in Hawaii, he really is in Hawaii. If you with Mike in Hawaii, you with Moochie in Philly, you with Danny in Florida, you with me in Maryland. I said to myself, that was that's what you want to see from your franchise quarterback.
That's your
See,
franchise
everybody's
moment.
talking about the accuracy, everybody's talking about, the decision making. Those things improve week after week, but now I want to see, can you close a game for me? And he did it. He put the nail in the coffin. He closed the game, and that's what I said right then and there. I said, and I was telling Danny, I would say, listen, Dallas Goedert got paid. See, and this is, I have to say this, guys. Like, everybody knows when one person gets paid, the other guy sees, oh, Brink's truck is in the neighborhood. So Jalen Hurts said, oh yeah, it's time for me to get paid. Jalen Hurts signed his second contract with that play. He sealed the deal.
And you know another thing, you know how you watch a battle, like a rap battle? Everybody in the whole stadium said, ooh.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I said, oh my God. Like I was just like,
Somebody caught a dead body.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
it was just like,
It reminded me of Allen Iverson, bro.
Just roll the chalk line already, bro.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Orange
how the
cones and
ball fell. I
everything.
said, oh my God.
Everything.
It's like,
Yeah,
damn,
man.
It's
you
like
ain't
that
gotta do it
time.
like
We
that.
at an hour mark right now. So who's gonna start it off on what's the score gonna be for the Giants?
Game
Go
picks.
ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Eagles Uncensored.
You want me to start off? I'll start off.
Okay.
Go ahead, Eagle.
I won't disrespect them too bad. I'm gonna say it's 32-14 Eagles. End of discussion.
Moochie.
Who next? Again, after all these games, I feel that we're gonna be up in the 30s. So I'm gonna say 34-21 Eagles.
Okay.
Because at the
The
same
last.
time, it's like we're gonna be so high up on us that I'm gonna just say, because we're gonna be so high that we're gonna try to contain them, that somebody's gonna make a mistake and have them catch a touchdown. We're gonna be like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I said 34-21.
I feel
Okay.
that.
For the last few weeks, everything's well documented. I didn't have the Eagles winning just because I wanted them to prove to me that at all phases of this team can be, operating on the same level. And I think last week we've done that, and I think we've seen the results. So for me, I will say, Moochie, I'm gonna point out your guy. The Eagles being without Jordan Howard, I think that is going to be a blow for our running back room. Miles Sanders, this is just his second game returning. He's still trying to get where he's trying to go. I have the Eagles winning, but I just think, the running game is not going to be as potent. So I'm gonna go 24 Eagles, Giants 17. Close to where Mike is. I'm gonna go 24-17.
Looking at that, I'm thinking about that. Jordan Howard not out. I do think Boston Scott is going to go off because his go off game is always against the Giants. I don't know why, but he always seems to have a big game against the Giants. I do think if Gannon keeps up with the way he's been, sends the blitzes, makes Danny Pennies throw some weird dumb balls.
Danny
Maybe
Pennies.
maybe Fletcher Cox can get an interception. I don't know.
About to be Danny Food Stamps.
I think if we could just get to him, make him panic, I think we could win. I think we'll win 28-13.
Okay.
Coach,
All
said,
right,
like
fellas.
you said, Mike John, he got 28-17.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Go
I
ahead.
do think our offense will miss a step because we won't have that guy that'll just run people over in Jordan Howard. And I do think we'll definitely miss that, and the offensive line will miss that. But I do think this will be one of those games where Jalen is gonna prove even more doubters wrong. I think he'll have 250 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. I think he's gonna go off with his arm this game. I think Miles Sanders will get his first touchdown of the year.
Yeah, I will say this. I think Devontae Smith is going to eat up
James Bradbury.
no, not James Bradbury. What's my other? Adoree Jackson.
Well, I
he's
think
going.
Bradbury's gonna be on Smith a lot.
Yeah, I think he's going to eat him up too. To be honest,
Bradbury.
Bradbury.
He was cooking Marshawn Lattimore.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And Bradbury and Marshawn kind of have the same body type, body build.
Mm-hmm.
So I could definitely. Can we honestly say before we go that there was a cornerback that really locked up Devontae Smith?
I mean,
cool.
only
I'm trying to go
really.
through all the
No.
games that we did. I mean, I can't
The-
we can't say anybody in Detroit, even though he only had 1 catch. I mean, he threw the ball 14 times. So, I mean,
Yeah, but I mean, like the cornerbacks that are supposed to lock him up,
nobody.
are they locking them up?
No. But one thing I will say, because talking about cornerbacks, and he brought up Slay, I do think, honestly, I want to see what Slay can do on a punt return.
I mean, he's done it before. It's not like he's never done it.
Actually, he said he's
he's
never
done it
played
before.
special team.
He has returned punts for the Detroit Lions.
He did that.
He has
Real
done that
quick,
before.
Mike. Hold on, real quick, Mike. YSBG. If you're on Twitter, just hit me up on Twitter, Moochie215, or hit Pablo Gary on Twitter, and we can always get you on. So I mean, just hit us up, say something to us, and then any other time we have a show, you're more than welcome to come on to the House of Birds of Podcast. Rich,
Yeah, Mike
you
is
come aboard. What's up with you?
Mike is one of one of my followers. Mike, yeah, definitely hit me up, bro. We'll get you on for sure.
Yeah,
That's
man.
it, you know what I'm saying?
I
Listen,
will
please
say
like,
for
share,
me.
subscribe. Go ahead.
I'll say for me, bro. I'll leave you guys with this. Miles Sanders gets 120 yards and 2 touchdowns this game.
The reason why I won't disagree with that is because there's always like
I can
this
see that.
inside competition between him and Miles Sanders, the best running back out of Penn State. So that is a matchup that I'm looking at. Those two always sort of have it out against each other for bragging rights. So we'll see. I think y'all think the Eagles are going to get a win. So we got to see.
I mean, until Sunday at 1:00, so and hopefully, I know I keep saying this, but hopefully when Sunday comes, we will be back at 10 p.m. too. So just to give you an insight on the game too. So I mean, I understand like the last 2 weeks it's been kind of crazy. So yeah, I got you, Mike. I just seen you too. So I'm gonna definitely, once I get off this, I'm gonna hit you up and talk to you. So hopefully we'll be put on and we'll talk about the game. Hopefully, and of course we get this win, so we'll be 6-6 and keep it moving. So I mean, like I said, this is the House of Birds podcast. I'm Moochie Moochie. Everybody else.
Pablo Gary.
Daniel
AK
Hill.
Eagles 88.
Hey, Eagles Uncensored. Obviously, we all know you're a special guest, man, but you're like a brother to the show. Let folks know how how they can follow you and subscribe and support your platform.
Yeah, man, definitely. And I appreciate you guys having me on again. You know, I love talking football with y'all. You're very knowledgeable and so much fun. So thank you. Yeah, I am AK Eagles of the Eagles Uncensored podcast. I am on my way to 300. I'm at 260. Would like to be there before Christmas. So
Nice.
definitely
Subscribe.
hit that sub button if you like the content. It does get a little verbal over there at times, but hey, that's the name. So
The Philly way.
Name, you know?
Hey,
Yes, sir.
hey,
Yes,
nothing wrong
sir.
with it, you know what I'm saying? So hopefully
Yes, sir.
everybody will have a happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays. Eat as much as you can eat, you know what I'm saying? Be thankful for what, you know what I'm saying, what God brings. You know what I'm saying? So until then, fly Eagles fly. I get at ya.
Go Birds.
Peace. Wake up, little boy.